Is a shit show. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Let's talk about the latest news in Canada. Canada Post is actually on a strike again. About the same time last year they were on a strike. About the same time this year they are on a strike. They're already protesting here in north of Calgary, and they started protesting yesterday in Edmonton. How do I know about it? I have a client who wanted to send a bank draft of $10,000 using Canada Post to save money and save time. And they contacted me yesterday and they said, Igor, what do you think? Is it a good idea to set a bank draft through this kind of service? And I'm like, you know what's going on with Canada Post? I'll tell you a couple of things. Number one, I would never trust to literally send a bank draft that is equivalent of cash through a mail service. Number two is definitely not going to be Canada Post. And number three is definitely not going to be Canada Post. See guys, this is Canada Post right over here. So why are they on strike? What the hell is going on with this organization? Well, guys, it's not really their fault. Let me explain. So they are actually, this company costing us $1.5 billion in our tax money. So they're in deficit. And in 2019, they were $5 billion in deficit. So now they are trying to phase out from door-to-door to delivery and have this kind of mailboxes. So basically, you remember those times, well, when people still wear this vast bunch of mail here like ammunition, and they will be walking around from house to house, and you can see a friendly post service person, coming up to you, to your door, and you greet them because you know them by their name, and they give you the mail. Well, that's what they're going to be canceling out. That's what they're trying to phase out of, so that yeah guys. And they're trying to save money. It should save a total of $500 million over the entire span. It's not going to cost us $1.5 billion. It's going to cost us probably $1 billion. And it's going to impact a lot of workers, of course. So that's one of the main reasons why they are actually right now protesting, is because people are fighting for their employment. Now, it would be a really terrible situation if my client yesterday was to actually go ahead and send the mail through Canada Post, because $10,000 bank draft is going to be sitting there. We don't know where, hello, we don't know where it would be lost by now. So yeah, next news is, well, it's actually a good news. Well, let's start with the bad news, then I'll tell you good news. I like the bad news first, so that we just get them out of the way. Government spendings are up compared to the last year. We had about 7.39, and now it's 7.79 as far as I know, in numbers of government spendings, $1 billion, in billions. Give me a second. What's that stuff? What they're doing, guys? What are they doing there? I don't know what the noise is from. Anyways, give me a second, I'll walk away from that noise. I'm not in New York, it's Calgary, and people are doing renovations. So the government is spending way more money compared to the last year. Summer, it was, it's just, it was 7.39, and I believe right now it's 7.79. The number might be off by a couple of $100,000, but it's in billions of dollars that we are talking. So Mark Carney's government is unsurprisingly spending more money right now on the government budget spendings, in a deficit. I mean, than our previous government, which was the same freaking government, which is liberal government. So unsurprisingly, our government is spending more money. Now let me tell you the good news. The good news is our GDP growth is up by well, it's not zero, it's good, 0.2%, which is better than projected 0.1% for the last month. Now, I do know that our budget deficit over the previous month can even out and doesn't even make sense, because we had a negative GDP growth, but that's something positive. Now, there is a big question about real estate going on right now in terms of prices. I actually had on my other channel somebody commenting saying, Igor, what do you think? What should we control first, the housing pricing or inflation? And I sat down, I started writing that response, and I realized how dumb the question was at first place. As someone, well, I do, maybe it's not dumb, okay, I know that. I have masters in economics. You know, I did my masters in business administration, but those people who comment, they didn't do that. So, okay, fair enough. I'll answer the question. It's a really stupid question because housing prices are directly correlated and related to the inflation. In fact, I sold a property about 2 years ago for a gentleman, and yeah, it was close to $700,000, and they purchased it in like 1990s. And if you look at a compound interest rate over all of those years, the person literally made 4% returns in a month. In a year, compound interest. Now, if you were just not knowing what compound interest rate is, you would not use the compound interest formula for calculation. But if you know enough about economics, the healthy inflation rate on the long run, even for Bank of Canada, and you should know this number, is roughly at 4%. So it's enough to stimulate economical growth, but not too much to cause a severe inflational madness. So if you look at it over this span of more than 30 years, that's basically what person has got the money back. So basically that house, according to my calculation, and I have a special calculator for it I use, you can get one online to calculate it, is basically at 4% compound interest, which is a healthy inflation rate. So I would argue that that person didn't make any money on the house. It's just that inflation went up, and the same price, that was in roughly maybe $80,000 or $60,000, I don't remember exact number. I don't want to actually, I know, but I don't want to actually give you the exact number for that house. I just don't want people to be able to identify exactly who I'm talking about. And I work as a realtor with XP Realty in Calgary, Alberta, also, so that people don't complain I didn't say my brokerage. So anyways, what's happening is that person just, it's the same price for the house as it was back then. Now, shoot me if you don't agree with me, because that's exactly what is going on. It's the same housing price. So the only adjustment for the price was the inflation rate over the years of 4%. That's it. So that's the answer for the people who are asking me, oh, let's just get the housing prices down. Let's get the inflation under control. The best way to get the housing prices, in control is to actually control inflation, or increase the supply of houses, and decrease the amount of people coming. So you can actually try to decrease the housing prices, but it was just directly related. Housing didn't really become more expensive in Calgary over the 30 years. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's the answer for that. Now, let's talk about inflation, right? Because it's very relevant to what I'm about to tell you. The GDP growth, and I know that Bank of Canada is not supposed to be political or anything, but I would tell you, as a person with economical degree, in fact, guys, I don't know, I have too much of education. I can just give you a small list of things that I have, because people probably are unaware. So I did bachelor's of economics, then I did, and it was business administration program. Then I did my same thing, master's. Then I have my diploma degree. Then I have my immigration diploma as well for immigration that I was studying. So I was studying immigration law. Then I also have post-graduation degree of global business management of 2 years. And on top of it, I also have my PMP certification for project management. Then I also have my real estate education and training done for all of this, and I also have an accounting certification from back home. So it's like a bunch of stuff. I might have also missed something. Oh yeah, logistics diploma I also have, because I did a separate 2-year program for it. Anyways, back to the video. What I'm trying to say is, what my projection is very going to be temptive for the government of Canada right now to stimulate further the economical growth of GDP, and also to show that Mark Carney is actually doing something, and to cut down more rates. I would bet you, it's my opinion, very subjective, but I'm ready to bet with you that they're going to do another interest rate cut this year, probably on the next Bank of Canada meeting that is scheduled, and they're going to probably most likely do it because they would want to push the economical growth of Canada by doing so. So there is an incentive for that. They could not do anything, but then it might hamper the progress of GDP growth. So I'm projecting that on this good flow, they might actually push their interest rates down by 25 basis points this year. Most likely, I'm confident it's going to happen this year for sure, in my opinion. If they don't do, then they're not following the principles of economics. I mean, that would be really dumb. If I was in a Bank of Canada and I had the numbers like this, I would definitely do that, because that's the logical thing to do that. And if they don't do that, then maybe they should go and get some more education on economics, I would argue. Anyways, so how is it going to impact the housing? I don't think it's going to have any significant impact on the housing. Like, you cannot expect the housing to grow every single year. It would grow over the long term. Honestly, guys, it's just like in a way of stock market, but I actually like housing more because it's a real estate, it's a real asset. So in that way, I would say that if you purchased a home in Calgary last year and you sell it right now and you want to exit the market, you'll probably lose money. If you are going to sell your home this year because you need to upsize or downsize, you would sell it at a lesser price. Almost certainly, especially if you purchased like in August last year and you're going to be selling right now. But if you buy another property, you're going to be saving money. So really nothing really changes if you stay on the market. If you were to exit Calgary market completely, you might actually lose. But if you are switching properties, the only thing you lose is your bank fees and realtor fees. That's what I wanted to tell you for anyone who is forced to upsize or downsize on their properties and shop this year. But in the long term, you don't lose almost anything. So we have, give me a second, I'm just going to let the lady pass here. So I want to tell you guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be keeping you updated on the latest news articles, and it's free, and I'm doing the research for you, and I'm going to, so subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to follow me, and I'll keep you updated on all the news that are happening in Canada. Also, I forgot to tell you about the ostrich situation. Wow, did you know that in British Columbia, government of Canada is trying to seize, because of that, there is a weird number of bird flu going on. There's 400 ostriches, and there's a huge protest going on about it. So I didn't know we had freaking ostriches in Canada. It's freaking hilarious. I was like, what? BC, this is a different part of Canada, I tell you now. 400 birds they're trying to seize, and there was a lot of protest. Honestly, it was kind of weird when I saw that people and the officers showing up to seize those 400 birds. I was pissed off. It reminded me of those stormtroopers, in Star Wars, when they showed up and the Confederation forces show up to take away your possessions and to destroy your livelihood and take away all the birds from you. I was literally emotionally pissed off about that. Well, a lot of Canadians were pissed off about that, so they have stopped that for now. They're not taking away those 400 birds, which is a good thing. I didn't know I had so much of love for ostriches in Canada. I'm not even Australian, so yeah, that's good. But I was really sad to see when Canadian government showed up. It's like, can you imagine just a bunch of fads, so to speak, show up to your house, and they're just about to take away your entire livelihood and take all of these birds away. I was honestly heartbroken when I saw that. And luckily, Canadians stood up to the government, and we did what is right. And the government is doing what is right now. And that's one thing that we should not ever lose in Canada. Is our freedoms of speech, our freedom of thought, speech, and expression, identity, and everything. So yeah, we have to fight for that. Otherwise, those stormtroopers are going to come to your home and take away everything. So that's a win, not on the only part of Canada, but on the part of Canadians. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.